Thanks for staying with us. I'm John Kasich in for Bill O'Reilly. And in the Unresolved Problems segment tonight, political attack ads. You may remember in 1998 the Willie Horton ad that is widely credited for helping to derail Massachusetts Governor Michael Dukakis' presidential campaign. Well, the man behind that ad is back, this time producing anti-Obama ads like this one.
America has a problem with immigrants who don't learn English. Barack Obama has a solution. Your children need to learn Spanish.
But understand this, instead of worrying about whether immigrants can learn English, they'll learn English. You need to make sure your child can speak Spanish.
Understand this, speak Spanish? Why? Is he embarrassed of Americans?
It's embarrassing when Europeans come over here.
Is this the change you want?
Well, joining us now from Seattle is Floyd Brown, president of the National Campaign Fund, a PAC that has endorsed John McCain. All right, Floyd, what are you trying to do through this campaign season? What's your goal here?
Well, what we want to do is bring up some of the issues that make the mainstream media feel uncomfortable. And, you know, watching the storm over the Corsi book has just reminded me how important it is that those of us that are conservatives step forward and ask some of these difficult questions of Barack Obama that others have been derelict in their duties in not asking. And so we're going to touch those issues that are the third rail in politics, things that people think are untouchable.
All right, Floyd, I look at the, this ad on the Spanish, his Spanish statement. I think it's fair game. I personally think that that was where he didn't understand where the public is. That was hitting a sour note. But I've also seen that you're running an ad, implying, and you can correct me if you want to, that somehow he's a Muslim or was a Muslim. I don't see that as being fair play. Either does John McCain. How do you respond to that?
Well, John, I say, was he a Muslim? I don't think he's a Muslim right now. But what we have is a Barack Obama who has created kind of a cult of personality around a biography that doesn't exist. Bill O'Reilly calls him the mystery man. I think that's absolutely correct. When you really delve into who he is, this is a man who was raised Muslim at least through the age of 7. Not only was his father Islamic, but his stepfather was Islamic. He was registered in school as Islamic. He had Quranic studies. He went to the mosque, and all of that's well documented. In fact, to the New York Times themselves, to Nicholas Kristof, he quoted the call to prayer in perfect Arabic and then went on to say it was the most beautiful sound at
Floyd,
evening time.
Yeah, I hear that. But wait 1 second. I mean, when the guy is 7 years old, I mean, are we going to go back and vet people running for office all the way back to the age of 7?
Well, on his site, on his website, Fight the Smears, he says he was never, N-E-V-E-R, Islamic. Now, they have started to hedge that. Since my ad came out, they've said to some people he was never a practicing Muslim. But, clearly I think it's important for us to know the biography because of the way they've tried to create this cult of personality.
Right. But so you're saying
the cult of personality is part biography, John.
Yeah, I understand
and so that's why they've made it an important question.
Right. But you think that biography starts at 6, 4, 2?
I think biography starts,
one of my daughters is 8.5, and she says she wants to grow up to be president. I don't know whether we got to be watching what she's doing now, because somebody's going to come back and say, well, when you were 7, I mean, you understand what I'm saying, Floyd? Is there any limit?
And John, I want to answer this specifically because he goes around and says, I am a product of Kansas values. I was raised and inculcated with Kansas values. Okay, his mother was an atheist. And that's no Kansas value, just like it's no Ohio value, it's no American value. He has made these an issue, and if he's going to talk about the values that were inculcated in him as a small child, I think it's legitimate to talk about those issues.
So you do think, Floyd,
the personality.
So you do think, though, there are some personal things that are out of bounds?
Oh, absolutely. Like, for example, I've never done an ad on the white woman that he lived with for a year after Columbia University. I mean, I think that's out of bounds. I would never do an ad on that woman, for example. But I think he wants to have the nuclear football, and so as a result of that, his character is in question, and character and fitness for office are absolutely legitimate questions. And you know, when he was in high school, one of the things that this whole Jerome Corsi controversy has shown to us, because they put out this 42-page booklet on him, they have confirmed for the first time who the mysterious Frank is.
Floyd, let me ask you
this,
and every
American should want to know who is the mysterious Frank.
Let me ask, I guess we can all
He was a member of the Communist Party.
Hold on, Floyd. We're almost out of time. Look, do you know how many people sit at home and sit around their table and they say, there is no way that I'm ever going to run for office? Now, I've been in the middle of it, so I know what it's like to be attacked. Here's the question. Guys like you and other people in this country have to be careful that what we're not doing is driving all the qualified people out. Because if you ask people today if they run for public office, they'd say I'd have to have a hole in my head. Do you agree that there are some places we should not go when it comes to these campaigns?
Yeah, I agree that there are some places we should not go. But when you want to be the controller of our destiny and control that nuclear football, and we've got troops pouring into Georgia from Russia,
I hear you.
I want somebody who's qualified.
That's what I want to talk about. I want to talk about those kinds of issues rather than what somebody's doing at 7. But you got my attention. I got to get home tonight and tell my daughter, you got to be careful. You got to be careful what you do. But I got your point, Floyd, and I appreciate you coming on, and we'll see you, I'm sure, at one of these conventions.